Gaming gadgets on clearance? Not the first time we've looked at one of these on the show. I'm about to put all y'all on the hunt. Your boy Emceemur coming at you here in another episode, and yeah, this is another one of those, I don't know, unboxing, review, / PSA type things. I gotta tell you about a recent score we made. The Galaga Tiny Arcade, found in a Barnes & Noble store, and that's crazy on a few different levels, and we'll talk about those levels. These normally retail at $20. These are 75% off at their stores right now, meaning you're barely gonna break a $5 to get this thing and walk out the door. Again, it just raises so many questions. What else could we find out there? This was the only one they had at my store, but did not hesitate to grab this up for that low price. I don't know that I would be a buyer on these at full price, but for $5, yeah, I'm keen to take a look at this thing. Hey, before we get started, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and drop a like on this video, and if you haven't already done so, I'm gonna need you to subscribe to the Emceemur Show. Be a part of what we got going on here. So again, 75% off on the Tiny Arcades puts them down around $5. And the thing of it is, Barnes & Noble historically does not mark things down. I've even seen the LCD Old Basic Fun arcade units there for like 10% over the original retail. And it's like, who are you selling this to? Nobody's gonna pay that. But okay, this is wild that this was there. And again, it raises the question, if this was there, what other units are out there at other Barnes & Noble stores? And if you can get those for 75% off, well, you definitely want to do that. I'm challenging all of you to get out there and check your local stores and see what they have. And what other models should you be looking for in particular? Because some of these were hits and some of them were misses, right? So for those recommendations, I'm going to turn you over now to an expert in that field, somebody that has done extensive research in the reviewing and playing of these units. Big John at GenXGrownUp. John.
Hey, thanks Emceemur. I am John from GenXGrownUp, and as Mur said, I've been collecting the little tiny arcades for years now and reviewing them over on our channel, GenXGrownUp. So if you're heading down to Barnes & Noble to try to score a deal, there are some that are going to be worth that super discounted price, and some that you maybe should just give a pass even at that cheap price. I want to start by pointing out two of my favorites. The first one is Mappy. Despite its size, it's a pretty nice rendition of Mappy. Controls are decent, the sounds and music even are pretty doggone good. So if you find one of those for $5, don't get caught sleeping, snag that one just as soon as it's in your sight. The other one that I want to highlight and be sure that you don't miss out on is actually pole position. Now you might be surprised to hear that pole position translated well to this tiny arcade form factor, but it really did. And it has that little steering wheel instead of a joystick. Now it's actually just a joystick that you lean left and right, but the controls and gameplay are surprisingly nice for a tiny arcade. It's not one I expected to like, but it's really one of my favorites from the line. And there's one more you've got to keep your eye out for, whether you're shopping tiny arcades at Barnes & Noble or anywhere, and that's the combo Ms. Pac-Man Galaga class reunion. Now this was actually only a Cracker Barrel exclusive, but they've popped up here and there. I mean, you know, the supply chain is and clearance and whatnot. If you get one of those, man, hang on to it. They're going for upwards of $100 these days, so if you snag one of those for $5, you've got yourself a winner. And I mentioned that not all of these are worth the money, even at the clearance price. If you can find yourself the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle for $5, definitely buy it just for the pleasure of throwing it away. In fact, I bought a second one just so I could have the pleasure of taking a boxed one and throwing that away too. Real quickly, I want to thank Emceemur for inviting me on for this guest spot, and you, Emceemur viewers, good luck bargain hunting.
Thanks, John. You know, John has taken a look at so many of these mini arcade units from all the different manufacturers, all the different companies that put them out. He has definitely done some cool research in that area, and of course in all things Gen X, right? Because that's what they do. Cool bunch of guys. If you have not already checked out GenXGrownUp, it is a YouTube channel that I cannot recommend enough. I hope you all are going to go over there right now with the link in the description of this video and the link I'm going to put right here, and subscribe to GenXGrownUp and see what you have been missing over there. Lots of cool things going on over there. High grade quality content that I'm going to insist you can't do without. Great bunch of guys. But you know, now I want to get this thing open. I want to see for myself, because again, I haven't opened one of these on the show before. I have never had my hands on one of these. I want to see how it plays. You don't need me to show you one of these things. You've probably seen one of these things. You probably have one of these things. You might have a friend that has one of these things. I don't know, but leave me something in the comment section of this video and let me know what you think about these things. If you have some of these things, which ones you like, which ones you don't, things like that. You know that I love getting a conversation going with you right here on the Emceemur Show. And yeah, let's break into this bad boy. So the Galaga Tiny Arcade, and golly, they even got to add an extra $2 on there because it's Barnes & Noble. It's always MSRP plus 10%. I would not want to be a buyer on these for $20, but you know what? For 75% off, yeah, let's get it. Let's get into this thing. Okay, so here it is, and this thing, you know, in what universe is this a keychain? I don't know. No, I don't want this in my pocket. You know, they're not the most attractive looking things in the world. The sticker's barely on there on the top, but, you know, anyway, we want to see how it plays, right? Looks like it switched to on. And okay, it's on. Sounds not bad on it. Again, bearing in mind how small this thing is. You know what? I've seen worse. For how small this is somewhat faithful. I mean, it's a little choppy, but I mean, what do you expect? But if you look there, it really doesn't look that bad. You know, I have seen worse. This just isn't that bad looking. I mean, it's choppy, but I mean, for what it is? I mean, come on. It's just a small little novelty. The sound is pretty faithful. Yeah, I mean, it's Galaga. Certainly not the definitive way to play it, but... You know, back in my day, if you had one of these on the school bus, you'd have been king of the schoolyard. So, there you have it, the Galaga. I would like to play some of the other ones of these. For $5 a piece, I could see filling up a shelf with these just to have some shelf candy, just something to look at, I guess. It's kind of neat. I certainly would not be a buyer on these at $20 a piece, because we're really not paying that for the larger size ones we've been getting. We've been getting those as low as $1, so you know me, I don't pay retail. But yeah, that's the purpose of this. Why pay retail? There's a deal going on these, and I challenge you to go out there and see how many of these or what other ones of these you can find. So there you have it, the Tiny Arcade Galaga unit. This was the only type they had at the Barnes & Noble near me, but goodness knows there's other locations out there. I need to check them, and I am interested to know what you find on your hunts at the Barnes & Nobles in your area if you're going to get out there and try to find one of these for 75% off as well. And you know that I'm very interested to know what you find when you go out there, even if it's nothing. So make sure that you come back here and leave me something in the comment section of this video, because you know that I love getting a conversation going with you. Let me know what you find. Let me know if you like what you found. Always interested to know what y'all are finding out there in your respective game hunts in your areas. So much ground to cover, so many cool things out there in the wild for us to grab. Hey, did you like this episode? What did you think about what you saw here today? Are you going to get out there and try to find one of these things? Let me know, and I hope that you liked this video, that you're going to drop a like on this video, and most importantly, if you have not already done so, I'm going to need you to subscribe to the Emceemur Show and be a part of our nation, because we're rising up all the fantastic things we do right here on the show. You need to be a part of it. Make sure that you smash that notification bell, so you're always the first to know when new content goes live. New content like these PSAs on gaming clearance stuff that sometimes I find in the wild, and I want to make sure you know about, because if it's going on in one store, it could be going on in other stores. Got to get out there and get those big savings and find more cool stuff. Flea Market Flippin' returns next Friday. New episodes, more hunts, more finds, more things to look at. Never come away empty-handed. Always more fun to have right here on the Emceemur Show. Emceemur signing off for this fantabulous episode. Now we'll see each and every one of you again on the next one.